chasing me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say. It's Stampin' Up and it's our way.
Hey everyone, it's Pauline from Stamp with Pauline and welcome back to another kit class. So I'm going to show you what the ladies have made. We are using the Cutest Crew stamp set and dies. So everyone in their kit already has all of the makings to do the 6 cards. They get the stamp set and the dies as well, and a few little treats along the way as well. So that's kind of cool. If you're interested, by all means, flick me a message if you're in Australia, because I can send this to you. You just pay additional for the postage. So for this kit, we've got the makings in here, and for this card, what we've got is a base card of Pool Party, and you've got a layer of basic white. We also have a layer of Pool Party and a layer of basic white. We have some Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. We have one of the labels punched out. We have the Peaceful Garden blue glitter ribbon that came with in this suite as well. And then we need some supplies. So for this, you're going to need some dimensionals. You're going to need the range of blends, and I'm just going to be using the same blends that I have been doing in the previous cards just to make it a bit easier for everyone. Memento ink, stamp pad, and the 3 stamps you're going to need is the birds, going to need the happy birthday, and you're also going to need the butterflies as well out of this one. So to first start off, what we're going to do is pop everything to the side, just bring back in the label and the layer of white, the smaller piece that goes on the front. I have already gone ahead and done this bit on your scrap piece of basic white. I want you to stamp 3 birds, color them in and cut them out. And what you need to do is double mount them on dimensionals. And what I mean by double mount is once we've got one lot of dimensionals here, you then take a dimensional and you pop it on top. This will actually just give us a little bit extra height on this card. So line those up, and there we have that ready to go. So that can just pop to the side. Remember to skip the video, fast forward, rewind, whatever you need to do on this card on the video, so be sure to do that. All right, what we're going to do is we are going to first of all start off with the butterflies. Taking the label, because the butterflies are actually in a curved line, we're going to stamp 1 up the top and flip it around and do a curved butterfly on the bottom. Then take the happy birthday and stamp happy birthday in the middle. All right, we're going to color those butterflies in. What you need to do with this layer of basic white is ink up your birds and randomly stamp. They can go off the card, they can be on the card. Make sure you get a few whole birds and a few half birds in there. There we go. And I'm just going to do another little one down there, and maybe a little bit of grass and a bird there, and then we'll tilt him over that way. All right. What I'm going to show you now, the reason I haven't gone down here is because my designer series paper is actually going to be sitting here and my ribbon is going to go across here, so I won't need to keep stamping down the bottom. Once all the birds are coloured in and our label is coloured in, it's going to sit onto here. So just make sure that's going to be raised up. So just make sure you've got a good coverage of birdies all over that. The next thing you're going to do is I'm going to come back that's all going to be coloured in. So you can press pause on the video if you like. Colour in your birds. Like I said, I've got Lost Lagoon. I'm going to use the skin tone for the beaks because beaks aren't really yellow on birds. I might do a bluebird. I might do a crumb cake bird just to tie in some of this paper that we've got. So they will be my range of birds. I don't think I would use much else. I've got a there is a dark slate as well. I might see how that looks, and then the same with the butterflies as well. We're going to do that. So that's that part. Alright, so I've coloured in all my birds. I have my other little birds here as well, and I've got my label coloured in. What you're then going to do is take some of the Balmy Blue blend, and all we're going to do is just randomly put a few dots on the background so it's not so stark and just breaks up that white. So just pop a few random dots on there. They can be close together, they can be a bit further apart, and it just breaks up that starkness of the white. If you wanted to, you could also leave a bit more gap and use the bird footprints instead of the dots. All right, so we're just going to move all of this just to the side for 1 second. Don't need the drop sheet. You can take your base card. It's already been folded in half. We have a layer of white in here. So we can go ahead and glue down the layer of white. Just with our liquid glue, just attach the layer, making sure it's even on all sides. Take your base card, and what you're going to do is actually fold over this centerpiece to the join and then burnish that. So what's going to happen now with our easel card, this is actually going to stand up. What we're then going to do is glue all of our other bits together. So the first thing what we're going to do, so bring back in your colouring, we're going to add our designer series paper. So let's add the designer series paper to the birds that we have just coloured in. Going to now grab my tear and tape because I like tear and tape better for ribbon. The Stampin' Seal is good, but you'll find the tear and tape I find is just a little easier to attach. Go end to end with that. If you find with the ribbon that the paper doesn't come away, just heat it up a little bit with your finger. Just run your finger over the top of it and warm it up a little bit, and it will actually release the back side just a little bit easier. So we're going to fold those in, and again using the tear and tape we're going to double lock in that ribbon along the back. I don't use scissors with my tear and tape because I don't like getting glue on my scissors, but say for instance I go over my card. So let me just show you this. So see how I've got a little bit extra tape on there. I'm going to show you what I do rather than cutting it. So if you have ever measured or eyeballed it incorrect or whatever, take the paper off and then bring that adhesive back over onto itself. Okay, so it saves you using your scissors, means you won't need to get glue on those on your scissors at all. Okay, so I don't ever use the scissors on that. So let's just peel away the paper, and now we're going to glue that with an even border around the outer edges of that. Grab hold of your dimensionals and stick down your layer. Sorry, I only need 2 on this one because I don't, and I've put them on the wrong side anyway, so let me just fix that back up. Hang on. I don't like to stick things on top of my ribbon, and the reason I don't do that is because I find it can lift up a little bit. So just on the top and the bottom of, so just on either side of that, pop that down onto there, and then this piece is now going to get adhered onto the front of our card. So it's an easel card, so you can use liquid adhesive or you can use your tear and tape. I prefer the tear and tape on this one only because then I can actually see where I'm going with my glue. I find sometimes when you do it the other way, you'll actually get a little bit of glue, it can ooze out and all that sort of thing. So by attaching the tear and tape with this, so it's just not releasing on that. I'm coming in from the side after I've heated that. Just warmed it up with my fingers. It just finds it a little bit easier just to come away. And if you don't go from the end of the tear and tape as much and go from the side, it is a little easier. So lay the card down. I'm going to go this way so that you can see. So just line it up. Don't press too hard on it first. Make sure you're all in there. What you're going to do now is take the double mount backing off, and this is actually what stops the card from completely coming forward. So what you're going to do, I want my card to sit about here, and I'm going to pop that there, and then what happens is when it's laying down, then when you open it up, he gets to sit there. And I've got some bling here. These are called deer dots, and I thought that this might be a little bit nice just to have. You've probably got some embellishments with you to use up, because we always have embellishments. So I'm just going to close that card and pop down a bit of bling. There's 2 different sizes of the deer dots, which are really cute. So I'm just going to pop 2 of those onto there, and then I'll pop a 3rd little dot up the top there. All right, I just find using the take a pic tool with the hook on it is really good for having that as well. So they're the deer dots. Not sure if they're still current on the website, need to look at that. And I use the old storage cases that the stamp sets used to come in for all of my embellishments to sit on there. So that is the card. So he sits up like that. That is a side angle view, which is why we mounted that double on those dimensionals. And then you still have plenty of room to write the message on there as well. All right, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.
What we love, what we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of